Let me take you on a journey to Harlem's 125th Street, the heart of the conscious movement, home to a legend, sa.neter. If you've ever dived into Black YouTube, you've probably heard his name. Some even call him the godfather of Black YouTube. But who is sa.neter really? And why does his work matter so much? Sa.neter, born Frank Gehry, is more than just a media personality. He's the founder of the House of Consciousness. He's the driving force behind sa.neter TV, a digital meeting ground for Black scholars, activists, and thinkers. For years, he's been out there, camera in hand, giving a voice to those who challenge the mainstream. Debates about religion, history, social justice. Nothing is off limits. He's sparked conversations that make you think, that push you to question, that demand you wake up. But it's not just about controversy. Sa.neter's mission, Black empowerment, education, unity. He's brought together people from all walks of life. Hebrew Israelites, Moors, Pan-Africanists, Christians, Muslims, atheists, creating a space where tough questions get real answers, and yeah, sometimes it gets heated, sometimes it gets messy. But that's how real growth happens. His work hasn't come without critics. Some say the debates get too intense, or that he stirs the pot. But I see a man who's dedicated decades to building independent Black media, to celebrating Black excellence through the sa.neter TV Awards, and to making sure the next generation knows its worth. Sa.neter's legacy? It's about more than just views or subscribers. It's about sparking minds, building bridges, and reminding us all, no matter where you come from, your voice matters. So if you're searching for truth, for dialogue, for a community that challenges and uplifts, you know where to look. That's the power of sa.neter. That's the legacy he's building. One conversation at a time.
My friends used to play. I used to watch them hit each other, knock each other down in the dirt and shit. That's not fun to me. That's violence. You understand? So that's where I'm coming from. Look, that shit hurt. If you trying to hurt me, how the fuck am I laughing? That's not a game. So boxing to me is not a game. Boxing to me is what you do.
Oh yeah. Sa.neter. Oh yeah. Welcome to sa.neter, sa.neter Studios. We don't get no better than some consciousness info. Sa.neter TV 7. You keep it hot 24/7. You got that Black Wolf 102. Sa.neter TV 2. Yeah.
You are now inside sa.neter Studios, the House of Consciousness production, Black news presentation.
When you trying to do somebody in, you punch their ass all in the face and shit. That's what boxing is to me. It's trying to hurt somebody. So sa.neter, in the penitentiary, right, when I wanted to hurt somebody, I punched them all in the fucking face. You know what I'm saying? I tried to hurt them. Only one time, sa.neter, did I ever use a weapon on somebody. That was what I told you about in the shower. And the reason for that is because that wasn't personal. Believe it or not, that was business. You know what I'm saying? And that was the business that was going on at the time. And look, here you got little dudes, right? Look, I was around dudes 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 years old, sa.neter. I'm in my fucking 30s. You know what I'm saying? And I'm saying these fucking kids. Elmira, they put me in Coxsackie for 34 days. They took me off the bus, and put me in solitary confinement. Took me out of solitary confinement and put me back on the bus. They ain't want me in, I swear to you. They ain't want me in there with them kids. They told me in solitary confinement, it's a gallery full of fucking fools back there looking for a leader. Don't be the leader. I walk back there, right? I walk back there, start talking to little dudes, right? Here I'm talking about history on the gate. All these little dudes is quiet. They don't know nothing, sa.neter. And when they hear something, they want to learn. But they gotta be standing still. Where they standing still at? Solitary confinement. They ain't standing still in general population. In general population, it's like being in the park.
So Rikers Island was a different beast.
Rikers Island.
That was a different monster.
Rikers Island, was it a different monster? Rikers Island had more scared black dudes than upstate. Upstate is, when I was telling you about the scared black dudes, that was Rikers Island. That wasn't upstate. Upstate is different because upstate, you got access to more shit you can hurt a motherfucker with. You know what I'm saying? So you could be scared, but you could get equipment. You could make weapons. Rikers Island is harder. I'm not saying you can't get a weapon on Rikers Island. You can make a little bullshit cutter and shit. But Rikers Island different. Rikers Island is a city jail. That's not a penitentiary. You understand that, right? Rikers Island is full of pre-trial detainees. Okay? Those are not convicts. Once you get convicted, they get you off of Rikers Island. You could, don't quote me on this.
It depends if
no,
more than a year.
No,
Get you off, right?
no, don't quote me on this. No, that's not true. Don't quote me on this, right? But if you don't have a consecutive term that's more than a year, right?
Bro,
no,
you only got 8
sa.neter,
months,
listen what I'm saying to you, sa.neter.
Go to the 6th building?
sa.neter, listen what I'm saying to you.
Trust me, I know
listen
what
what
I'm
I'm
talking
saying. No, you don't. Listen what I'm saying to you.
man.
Listen what I'm saying to you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna help you understand it right now. Remember I said let me help you understand it? Remember I used to say that to Sutek all the time? Let me help you understand it, right?
You get.
Let me help you understand it, sa.neter.
You go to 6 buildings.
Let me help you understand it. Let me help you understand it, right?
Yeah.
Here's how you could stay on Rikers Island for 5 years, right? You could have that many 1 year times to do, right? Okay, when you could have like, you ain't get convicted, right? You've been waiting on Rikers Island for 2 years to go to trial, right? When you go to trial, look, you get a new case. You get a year for the new case. Now you're doing that year, right? Now your ass already been there 2 years. Now you got a year to do, right? But you still got an open case, right? So now you go to court for that open case, you get another year, right? That's 4 years on Rikers Island, right? You have that shit happen, okay? You have people that been on Rikers Island for longer than that. What I'm saying is, it's once again, that goes to the trap of the system. The system's a trap. Once you get caught in a trap, it's not necessarily easy to get out of it. That's why a lot of people become desensitized, is what I call it, because that's the best way I can say it.
If you was a G. This right here, tell me if you was a G. You ain't get no pussy up north from the CO sisters?
Listen, right? Listen. I'm not gonna front.
Not everybody was doing it.
I'm not gonna front, right? You had this half a homo ass pimp motherfucker, right? Listen, I'm not gonna bullshit you. I'm not gonna play. I ain't gonna bullshit you, right? Look, here it is. Let me tell you some shit that I've never admitted to anybody, right? When I was young, I didn't have a problem getting girls, right? My problem was knowing what the fuck to say to them, right? I didn't have no I had that. I didn't have the confidence to run it. You know what I'm saying? Cause I was too real. That was my problem, okay? So when I said things, I really meant the shit that I said. And I wasn't trying to play games, was my problem, okay? So I didn't have no bullshit to run on people. Consequently, it was hard for me to bullshit girls, right? But once I learned that that's what you had to do, oh, it was like second nature, right? But anyway, during my time, remember now, I was a young kid in the penitentiary. So I done had that bullshit with me, right? So well, can I say this on camera? Yeah, would I get somebody in trouble? When the prostitution was going on in there, right? I was like, what? Man, what? Prostitution. Why would I pay all that motherfucking money for some pussy?
What the fuck you mean prostitution? They was selling it?
Selling pussy.
The COs?
Yeah, why not? They got it. If you got it, you can sell it. If you ain't got it, how you gonna sell it? Right? sa.neter, listen. Like every other place in this market, right? If you have a commodity, the commodity becomes more expensive with the scarcity of the commodity. It becomes more prized if it's harder to get, right? It's expensive as a fuck, right? So now, here you got, I ain't gonna tell you all of them because it's never all of anybody. But if you got 1 or 2 females that's working a job, and the job ain't helping them make ends meet, and they say, well, shit, I can make ends meet this way. They make ends meet that way. Look, we adults, right? What part of a male-female relationship you think doesn't involve the transference of cash? Don't you transfer cash to your wife? Know what I'm saying? Every situation, if you could afford to be a player in it, there's opportunity. Know what I'm saying? You know what my thing was. When I went out of my way to make an opportunity for myself in there, it related to the shit that I was about. Know what I'm saying? I was a drug dealer. When I went out of my way to make an opportunity for myself, it was related to that activity, right? And I never got caught, but they almost caught me, right? And no, wait, but when they almost caught me, no, it ain't gonna rain. It's not gonna rain, son. Relax, you sweating.
Like the video, thumb up the video.
It's very important for me to say, right? Because family, I was in the penitentiary, right? And I got beside myself because for about a hot minute, out of all that time I was in there, I got comfortable. I was doing wrong, and I was doing wrong widely, and a whole bunch of people knew it, and I was stacking, and I wasn't protecting my own fucking neck because I was holding shit. You know what I'm saying? I was walking around with shit. At any time, they could have just pulled me over and searched me. At any time, they could have ran in my spot and searched it, right? And I'd have been done. I wasn't thinking because I got lax, because I got comfortable. Now, what I'm saying to you, I'm ending there because I really need you to understand that a lot of dudes in there, they get fucking comfortable. That's why when they getting shit, it's not like it's a big thing for them to go back. Okay? Family, it's a big thing for me to go back. I ain't never going back. You understand? So you just have to understand that. Somebody asked me, well, how you did all that time and stayed sane? This is the most problematic thing that I have to say today, right? And hopefully it's something that'll give everybody something to consider really deeply, right? The reason I can stay in the penitentiary 25 years and not lose my mind, turn the camera around, sa.neter. Know what I mean? Go scoop it already. Do the 360, the pan. The reason I can stay in the penitentiary 25 years and it not affect me psychologically is because I see this as just a larger version of that shit. You understand? I see this system out here, America, as a larger version of that system. So while I was in there, I used to constantly say to myself, I'm just in some place that I don't like to be. But the rest of you motherfuckers in the same place. Y'all just don't know it. Because y'all in a bigger version of this shit, right? And that shit kept me sane, believe it or not. So that when I came home, I used to talk to people. If I don't tell you that I spent 25 years in prison, you never know. And if I don't interact with certain people like I'm out my mind sometimes, y'all would never suspect that shit. I can mask it, I can hide it, I can disguise it. Because that's part of the program as well, family. The ability to front. Now, there's a lot of that shit going on, right? Don't let somebody who been in the penitentiary bullshit you when they tell you they wasn't affected by that shit. The shit affected me, right? Right now, sometimes I'm sitting by myself in a room or something, right? And I say, whoa, snap out this shit. What you doing? What you doing? Sit in this room by yourself. You understand? I really do that. Still today. I've been home 18 years, family. 18 years as of August 29th, right? I'm never going back. For 24 hours in October of 2001, they locked me up. sa.neter. 24 hours, right? Gave me a 24-hour flashback. For them 24 hours, the only thing I could think of, right? You hear me? I can't explain this shit to nobody. I can't explain why I'm in jail to nobody. You understand? I can't explain this to nobody. Who can I explain it to?
See if you got a video. I sent you a video.
I can't explain this shit to nobody, right? Because family, I gave myself my word they will never get me back in that cage. And that's not, you know, when I was up there, you hear dudes talking, man, fuck that. I'm holding court in the street. They'll never catch me again. Those are dudes who telling you that they going home and do the same dumb shit that they was doing that got their ass in a penitentiary. Family, I've listened to people talk about the robberies they was gonna commit when they get out. I've listened to people talk about how they was gonna beat this girl up for not coming to see and all this shit. I've sat there and talked to people that say shit like that. Family, look, I talked to a dude that had 3 crack spots, right? In Rochester, New York. He's a crack dealer. A crack dealer. First one I ever met, but my point is that when he found out that I had a murder, he didn't even know that we was talking about me. So he wasn't like, it was no shit involved. When they said murder, he said, oh shit, he's supposed to be in jail. So I said, what kind of drug dealer are you? You understand? How you got 3 crack spots and you talking about somebody that killed somebody supposed to be in jail? You understand? That, I don't know how you could be a drug dealer and not have to kill somebody.
Not only that, but you killing motherfuckers.
No, well, I'm saying though, well, no, not really, because I sold drugs and I ain't never killed nobody. But I don't know how you could be a drug dealer and think you ain't got to kill nobody. Because when I was a drug dealer, there was stick-up kids that come to rob drug dealers.
I don't believe that shit went over your head just now, man.
I know what you said, sa.neter. Okay. I know what you said. I'm saying, sa.neter.
You know what I mean?
Yes, I know what you mean, but sa.neter, what I'm saying is I sold drugs, I ain't never killed nobody, right? I know what you said, I know what you mean, I know what I said, and I know what I'm saying, right? All my customers came back. So I know their ass didn't die, right?
I'm not talking about physically.
And listen,
killing them.
I had white customers too, sa.neter. I had white customers from Massachusetts used to come down to Harlem and buy drugs from me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And now, listen, sa.neter, I'm not mad at them white people. I was a good drug dealer. You know what I'm saying? Look, you pay for this, you get this, and you go about your business. Was no hassle, no connivance. I'm never about that. I'm about that business, straight up. This is how I go.
All right, so that's
now, but in closing, right, family?
I know it's gonna rain when I get.
In closing, no, it's not. In closing, family, here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. Prison is a system, like every other system. This is why they putting those people at the southern border in prison right now. They want to call it immigration jail, but somebody got a job watching them. Somebody got a job feeding them. Somebody got a job looking out for their medical needs, the nurses, the doctors. Somebody got a job as the dentist. Somebody got a job as the administrator. Somebody got a job as the groundskeeper. All that shit creates jobs, family. And if you don't get to this point, the point to where Brother Larry got to, then you ain't never gonna get this shit, right? They are taking our unemployed, our unemployable, our semi-retarded, and they putting their ass in prison and creating jobs for people. Okay? They are creating jobs for people by locking you up. Now, for me, that's a slave model, right? For me, it's possible because of the slave history of this country. For me, people don't question it because they put other words on it, like what do they call it? Justice system, right? But for me, I'm on a planet where people kill shit every day just to eat. I'm sorry, but stealing somebody's money ain't that serious to me, right? Especially when you're doing it with like an email or some shit like that, right? But they will put your ass in jail for that shit and clothe you and feed you for 30 years for that shit, so that they can give somebody else a job for 30 years for that shit. And you got to see it as a system. And if you see it as a system, maybe we could get around that shit as a system. Oh, I saw it when you posted it, right?
What did you say, man? What's the slick shit you say, man?
I didn't say no slick shit, sa.neter. I saw it when you posted it, but sa.neter.
I got Native American in my ancestors.
sa.neter, but your DNA, sa.neter, is slave DNA. Well, it's not slave DNA. It's not slave DNA. Let me say, because I have a problem when other people call our ancestors slaves, right? So let me apologize to you and to the family and to my ancestors for saying that, right? Because they were people that got caught up in a criminal system that they called slavery, right? But let me say this to you, right? This is typical of the DNA results that you get from people that got caught up in the system. Now, also, this only confirms what I've been telling you for years, right? Black people some black people mix with white people, some black people mix with native black people, and some black people mix with other black people. Most black people are mixed with other black people. It just so happens that the other black people they mix with, some of them mix with European, some of them mix...
about the native part?
It ain't a lot, sa.neter. It ain't a lot. You got 18.6% European. You a cracker. I'm just saying, right? But look, it's 50, sa.neter, listen, 74.3% sub-Saharan African. You understand? That's typical, right? You got they give you the breakdown, but beside that, right, 1.2% hunter-gatherer. I showed you the hunter-gatherers in here, right? I post pictures of hunter-gatherers and people looking for bottles and shit. Right. That's hunter-gathering. And 6.3% Native American. That's high for New York.
Yeah.
Mine's is probably higher. Yeah, that's high for New York though. But look, here's the thing, right? Here's the thing.
Come from my father's side.
Yeah, but sa.neter, look, once you understand, right? See, I don't get into the emotionalism like people mad at me on Facebook right now. Right? Matter of fact, let me deal with that, right? Because I'm telling them there's no such thing as an African. And they mad at me for that shit, right? But you have to understand, family, right? This is from my heart, right? Brother Larry, not only does Brother Larry not hate himself, I probably love me more than y'all love you. You know what I mean? I'm 61 years old. And I look good. I could take your wife. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm a cool dude when you get to know me, right? I don't have self-hatred. What I have is self-realization. The self-realization that I have is this. We're going to make this easy so everybody can understand it, so nobody has to say this dumb shit again, right? We speak English. In English, they know the people on that continent as Africans. The people on the continent have names, not African. When they talk English to people, they say the thing they say in English, right? Now, to make sure you understand that and don't say, oh no, I'm just talking about people in Africa. In Germany, we call them Germans. They don't call themselves that shit. I can ask you in English, do you speak German? If they ask you in German if you speak their language, they say sprechen Sie Deutsch. So they call their language Deutsch. When you translate Deutsch into English, you get Dutch. You understand? So we're speaking English. So we know the English words for these things. We don't know the actual native words for them people. The actual native word for their language and culture. My point is that how can you really say that you love Africa if you don't know the people names in Africa? How can you say you love yourself if you don't take the time out to find out your goddamn name? Look, how can you say you don't have self-hatred if you're willing to call yourself everything but what you actually are? And what I mean by that, by everything but what you actually are, listen, every population on this planet that looks like us are black people. Fast forward, his brother, when they let me out, 43 days they held me, right? They hold you for 45 days, I think. If they can't get an indictment, then they let you go, right? 43 days they held me. So now I'm coming uptown. Now remember, I just got out, so I don't got shit. I don't got no weapons or nothing. I run into this dude brother, right? And I'm like, oh shit. Because I know these are killers. They got crews, you know what I'm saying? I'm vulnerable right now. So I say, yo, get away from me, man. I'm dirty, right? I play it off like I got drugs on me. I don't want no trouble. Don't try to get...
Oh yeah. Sa.neter. Oh yeah. Welcome to sa.neter. sa.neter Studios. Where we don't get no better than consciousness info. sa.neter TV 7. You keep it hot 24/7. You got that black Wolf 102. sa.neter TV 2. Yeah.
You are now inside sa.neter Studios, the house of consciousness production, black news presentation. sa.neter.
Tell me you dirty, I should call the police on you, right? Fuck you shoot my brother for. I'm like, oh shit, you should call the police on me. I jet spill, get away from this motherfucker, right? Fuck you, but you should. Wait, that's not how gangsters talk. This, you know, I'm an old school gangster family. We don't call the police. You know what I'm saying? We run from them. You know what I mean? We you know, the day over there. If we don't bribe them, we leave them alone. So it's like this. I'm in Sing Sing. They bring me back downstate for another case, right? In 1978. I'm in Sing Sing. I hear behind me, lie, lie. I turn around, it's this motherfucker, right? He run up on me and hug me. Oh, what's up, homie? I'm fucked up, right? Remember, I'm a kid, I'm 19 years old. So I'm not, my mind don't automatically go to connivance, to you know what I'm saying? I don't think like that. So I'm like, yo, what's up, Al? How you doing, right? So my man stood up on me and said, yo, you know that bird? I said, what about him? He said, man, them Puerto Ricans are starting the shit out that motherfucker, right? I said, oh, no wonder he hugged me. He looking for a friend. Right? But this, I'ma tell you, in the street, the people who was extorting him, he would have caused them to be underground. That's a fact. In the penitentiary, he was paying. You understand? And I seen a lot of dudes, right, get punked when shit happened. Here's another thing that happens in the penitentiary. I seen on Facebook yesterday, Fat Joe said all Spanish people is black, or like that, or all Latinos is black, or some shit like that. That ain't real. Don't go for that shit. Don't go for that shit. Don't go for that shit. What I said, don't go for that shit. In the penitentiary, Spanish dudes is fucking Spanish. Black dudes is black. White dudes is white. Homos is homo. Muslim is Muslim. Christians is Christians. Now, you could be all of that shit at the same time. What I just said, you could be a white Muslim, a white Christian, a black Muslim, a black Christian, a white homo, a black homo, a white, what, you could be all of that shit at the same time, but you can't be all that shit together. Know what I'm saying? Because some gangs, they have homos in the gang. Which gang was that? The Nietas have homos in their gang. They homo Nietas. Know what I'm saying? You fuck with them homos, the Nietas coming to get you. Now, the Muslims, you can't be a homo and be in their gang. Christians, you could be a homo and be in their gang. 5%, you can't be a homo and be in their gang. You understand? You can't be a rapist and be in the Muslim gang or the 5% gang, and they find out. Once they find out, you gotta run the protective custody. You could be a Christian and be whatever, and they don't care. You understand? But what I'm saying, sa.neter, is that, remember now, you in an environment with a bunch of individuals who have their own personal problems, right? But then decide that they need community problems as well. You understand? My problems ain't enough. I'm gonna fuck with you and get some more problems. What you got? sa.neter, you just got a package. What was in that package? Fuck you mean what was in my package, motherfucker? If you don't tell me what's in that package, I'ma stab you when the gate open. Now, people say, when I tell people shit like that, sa.neter, they say, get the fuck out of here. They don't talk like that. They talk just like that. Know what I'm saying? Look. Let me keep it real for a second, right? So y'all don't think I'm just talking about other people, right? Y'all know I was young when I went to the penitentiary, so I had a lot of these problems too. I'm not gonna front on you. I told you, when I got caught, I was a straight criminal. I was a drug dealer, right? When I went to the penitentiary, I kept that same mentality, right? So at one point, I found myself surrounded, not really surrounded, but it was enough of them little sick motherfuckers there for me to take notice of their ass. They beating up the white boys and chasing the white boys to PC and robbing them on commissary day, which I thought was kind of stupid, right? Because to me it didn't make sense, right? Because like I said, you know, I was a criminal, right? I didn't regard shit like that as things that a real criminal would do. From my perspective, a real criminal would set up a system where he could get a percentage and, you know, shit be easy to deal with. You know what I'm saying? So I said, well, I ain't doing nothing particularly right now. Let me engage in some crime, right? So I went to a couple of little knuckleheads and said, listen, man, y'all doing this shit all wrong. Y'all making shit crazy around here. The police fuck with y'all every day. White boys is running off. What, you robbed this motherfucker for like 30 bucks? I said, what is that? You gonna eat that shit? It's dead. I said, look, this is how we gonna work this, right? So I introduced the system, sa.neter, right? And I brought the white boys in, and I brought them in. White boys stayed safe. They paid me a percentage. These guys left the white boys alone, they got a percentage, there was no more problems there, right? Until the police came by and seen all that shit on my bed. I ain't go to commissary. I got like $200 worth of commissary on the bed. Oh, it's time for you to go. What you doing up here? I'm not doing nothing. But you just came from one of them real jails, and now your ass up in here with all this commissary. Now they locked my ass up. Get me out of there. Said I'm strong-arming people. That's not what I was doing, sa.neter. What I was doing was showing them a better way to do what they was doing. You understand? The white boys didn't want to get beat up and chase the PC. Okay, you got to pay for that. You got to pay half. Out of the half, right? Look, you get a piece, I get a piece, they keep half, nobody got problems. How's that not a win-win? You understand? So now, here you go, sa.neter. One of the little tough guys, right? He decides that he could do what I do. He tell a white boy, the old motherfucker ain't gonna help you. You paying me exclusively. Just so happened it was the richest white boy, sa.neter. Come on now, we in the penitentiary. Brother need help every now and again. Know what I'm saying? White boy family taking care of him and me for my trouble. You understand? He telling his family about me. I met a new friend. He making sure nobody beat me up. They sending me shit, sa.neter. How I'ma let you fuck with this one?
Right, you can't fuck that
You
up.
leave him alone. What's wrong with you?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Little motherfucker out of Rochester named Righteous. Right? Little boxer. I said, I got a trick for him. I have my little man walk his ass to the yard. I'm waiting in the yard. You know what I'm saying? Walk him over to me. Say, I want to introduce you to my man Larry. Dude, eyes got boop. He know who I am. But now we meeting officially, right? I said, listen, you got some dealings with this white boy. You got to let that go. You know what this fool said to me, sa.neter? You mean you want an arrangement like I got with him? I said, basically. He said, okay, I'm going to take 2 more commissaries in another package and then you can have them. I said, homie, you don't understand. You ain't getting shit. Your ass is done. You through. You out. You get nothing. You got a problem with that? Throw your fucking hands up. Know what I'm saying? He hesitated. I said, oh, we got to understand it. Tapped him on the shoulder, spent off and left. Seen him the next day in the yard with his friends. Walked past him and shouldered him. Heard his man say, you don't want no trouble out them old motherfuckers. Know what I'm saying? Now, sa.neter, I'm not a bad person.
Right.
But they put me in that environment. I was like 26 years old at the time, right? Shit was going on. I was impressionable at that time. I jumped right in that shit with both feet. Know what I mean? I had to stab somebody. Another cat. Little dude, young 18-year-old motherfucker, fresh 25 years. Running around, robbing all the little black dudes. Know what I'm saying?
Oh, he was Spanish or something?
No, black dude from Brooklyn named Justice. I'm giving you these names, it's real. Motherfuckers who know. You know what I'm saying? These motherfuckers might still be in the penitentiary. But I'm just telling the truth, right? I had to tag him up a couple of times because he didn't have no respect for me. You know what I'm saying? He thought I was old. I was 26. He was 18. Fuck you, old motherfucker. Come to the yard. I was in the prime of my thuggery. You know what I'm saying? So he go to the yard. I'm looking for him in the yard. I don't see this motherfucker nowhere. He in the gym, in the shower, sa.neter. Sa.neter. He in the gym, in the shower, sa.neter. In the shower, sa.neter. What I did. I'm a motherfucking ninja assassin. What the fuck is wrong with this fool, right? This the penitentiary. Not only are we in the penitentiary, we in the Elmira. Motherfuckers are getting cut every fucking day in Elmira. You in the movies, you hear motherfuckers, jump up and run. The lights come on. He done got sliced up in the movie, right? My point is that you got beef, you don't go get in the shower when you know you're supposed to be meeting somebody. I go right up in that shower and got his ass up out that shower, right? Now, he yelling, oh, where my shoes at? Where my pants at? Right there. Put them on, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? So he put his pants on, he put his shoes on. Oh, that's enough. Let's go. My shirt, you don't need no shirt for this. Let's go. You know what I'm saying? And we rumbling. Big ass young motherfucker, right? Knock me down. I jump back up. He said, where the knife at? I said, right here. Let's go. You know what I'm saying? Tap him. Tap, tap, tap. Go, pew. Now, he get with the 5% crew. Remember now, I don't know none of these people. I'm walking. I see a whole bunch of them little motherfuckers over there. I figure, okay, this is crew, right? I done tagged his ass up. Fuck it, here we go, right? My man Angel comes over, say, yo, what's up? I said, I got beef with this kid, I'm about to hurt him. He said, chill for a second. He go over, talk to the 5%ers, right? Say, yo, that's between you and him. I said, my man, tell him to come over here. He don't want to come, right? He want to stay with his crew. I said, tell his crew to tell him to come over here. Yeah, so he's standing under the spotlight in the gym yard in Elmira, right? Telling me to come over there. I'm like, yo, this motherfucker trying to get me caught, right? Yeah, what it is, he's trying to get me caught because where he's standing at, the police in the booth got a direct line of sight on that shit, right? Where I'm at, the whole building is shaded. So he's there, he over here, the police over there. I'm over here, right? I'm saying, come over here, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? I ain't going to jail for you. We already in jail, but I ain't going to jail for you. Come over here, right? He don't want to come. I said, yo, your man don't want no trouble, right? So boom. So now, on the way back in, he got holes in him. They catch him. He get caught with a razor. He got holes in him. They want to know who he fight. He don't tell. He go to the box, right? Now, while he in the box, Angel goes to the box, right? So he in the box, he talking to Angel. He tell Angel he want to talk to me when he come out the box. What do you want to talk to me about? I don't want to talk to him. You know what I'm saying? I done hit this motherfucker up. What is there to talk about? When you see me, you know what it is, right? He send word out. That ain't what it is. He come out. He won't be on my crew. Sa.neter. The one that I called in the yard the first time, he was on my crew. Now, this is the mentality that's in there. You understand? I don't understand that shit. Look, you can't whip my ass and then me join you. That's not where I come from. You whip my ass, damn, this motherfucker beat me. How the fuck did I lose that motherfucking fight? I'm thinking I did something wrong. I got to try you one more time. We got to go through, no, got to be round two, motherfucker. You ain't just gonna whip my ass like that. I ain't gonna be your friend. Now, I got a friend from 5 or 6 years old to about 7 or 8 years old. Every time we saw each other, we used to fight. I still don't know why. When we was little, I saw him in the penitentiary. I'm walking around the yard. I got beef. I got a beef with a dude from Brooklyn named Nate, right? Now we good friends now, but we got beef. We had to have this beef to come to an understanding, right? We locked in the box in solitary confinement. Nate brought out his motherfucking mind. Some dudes handle stress differently, right? They gotta talk. They gotta joke. They gotta bullshit, argue, cuss, just, to let that frustration out, right? At the time, I don't understand this shit. At the time, he just a stupid motherfucker next door making fucking noise while I'm trying to read, right? Your mother. Yo, homie, I don't play that. Oh, my bad. All right. I apologize. Listen. What happened?
Oh, the police. Yo, the police said, what's up, Prof? Yo, what kind of shit is that?
Listen, so look, listen.
Did you hear that shit?
No, listen.
Police riding by.
Okay.
Yo, brother Larry, sa.neter.
It's all good. It's all good. It's all good. So listen. But sa.neter, check it, right? We in Harlem. Stop playing, right? So check it, right? So here, damn man, you done made me lose my thought. Fuck with these police, man.
Yo, man.
So
all right,
what?
brother.
So what's sa.neter? Goddamn.
They be watching our shit.
Who I was telling you about?
I don't even remember either. That shit fucked me up just now.
Fucking with the police, man.
Like,
Pause that while I collect my. So anyway, right, back to Nate from Brooklyn, right? So we wound up in a beef. Why did we wind up in a beef? We locked in cages. I can't get to this motherfucker. I'm telling him, yo, stop talking about my mother. I don't play that shit, right? He go past my cell for a shower. I spit in his face. Puh! He said, I'ma kill you. I said, now you feel like I feel. You know what I'm saying? When we see each other, now we know what we gotta do. You know what I mean? So now, he's fucking fuming. He called everybody, he spit my face. He spit my face. I'm cracking up. Right? Because now he feel like I feel. Right? Now, motherfuckers say, yo, Larry, that's foul. Why you do that? Pappy Mason said, yo, Larry, that's foul. Why you do that? I said, Pappy, he keep talking about my mother. You know I don't play that. He said, oh. I said, yeah. You know what I'm saying? He said, well, it's beef. Wherever we see each other, ain't no thing but a chicken wing, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Wherever we see each other, we got beef. So now, a couple of years go by. I get transferred one way, get transferred another way. I'm in Auburn. He get transferred in to Auburn, right? So now, he found out I'm there. He grew up with the Brooklyn crew, right? I got beef with Larry. Now, at the same time, he going around telling people that I'm foul. Trying to get motherfuckers to not be on my side. I'm foul. I spit in his face. He don't tell motherfuckers the shit he did to make me spit in his face, right? But I'm foul, right? So he go around telling. So now my homie, Smiley Jr., that we used to fight every day when we see each other when we little, I'm walking around the yard. I'm alone. Nate running around with 2-3 other motherfuckers, right? But I'm by myself. So Smiley comes and say, yo, Larry. So I look, I said, what's up? He said, you don't know me? I said, you look familiar, but what's up, homie? And I go to walk off. He said, yo, I can't believe the fuck you walking away. You don't know me? The last time I seen this motherfucker, we was about the same size. And he had curly hair, right? Now, his family is Native American, right? Native American. He only got a little bit of black in him. He got a whole lot of Indian in him, right? So he got the hook nose and shit, the curly fucking hair, right? So when I saw him, that's what he looked like. When I seen him this time, he was big as a motherfucker, short hair, right? And I'm like, he said, man, it's Smiley, Junior, with the 2 twin sisters? I said, Junior? He said, yeah. I said, damn, you ain't look like that the last time I saw you. You know what I'm saying? Totally fucking different, right? So he said, what's up? I said, I'm good, let me go. He said, what's up? I said, I got beef. He said, you got beef? I got beef. I said, nah, this personal. He said, man, it's all personal. You got beef, I got beef. So now we walk in the yard together, right? So Nate and his crew, they gonna slide up on my man Smiley while I'm not there and try to tell Smiley, yo, Larry foul. You don't want to be with him. Smiley said, man, get the fuck out my face. Fuck you mean Larry foul. Motherfucker, you foul for trying to tell me that shit. You don't know who the fuck I am? That's my fucking homeboy, right? Now, he come and tell me. Right? So I said, once he come and tell me that, this is how I know this is what he was doing. I didn't know before that, right? But this is how I noticed what he was doing. So once he tell me that, so I said, yo, so this motherfucker's going around telling everybody this shit, right? So we have a meeting, right? So we agree we gonna have a rumble. We gonna meet the next day and we gonna settle this shit. Win, lose, or draw, this gonna squash the beef, right? That same afternoon, this motherfucker gonna come to me talking about, yo, let me spit back in your face and we can squash this. We don't have to go through that. Man, get the fuck out of here. Know what I'm saying?
supposed to have
Listen. This ass whipping I got to take if you got it to give, motherfucker. But you ain't spitting on me. You know what I'm saying? So we go, boom, we meet up, and we start rumbling. And boom, boom, he hit me, I hit him, and the police come, we break. Spin off, right? We agree to meet the next day, right? We gonna get together and squash this shit, right? Meantime, I hear he got a pipe, right? Listen, the Italian boys slid up on me. Mafia, right? Yo, lie. Your man just got a pipe. I said, what? He said he got a pipe from his homeboy. I said, oh. He said, here, that's for you. Gave me a motherfucking sword, right? This shit was longer than my arm. But it came from my fingers to about right here, right? Suede bound handle, right? Machine sharpened. This was a murder weapon.
Trying to get you another
Listen,
case.
this was a murder weapon, right? But now this kid, Dino, cool dude with me, right? So, but here's what you got to know about the penitentiary, right? You never know who got beef with who. So when you got beef, this motherfucker enemies might slide up on you and hit you off with the package. Get rid of this motherfucker. But you don't know that he ain't helping you. He helping himself.
Right.
That's where you at. You understand? And until you learn that that's where you at, your ass is like a goldfish on the beach in the penitentiary. You don't know which way to flop to get back to some water. And the water you get into might be foul and dirty as a motherfucker. You understand? So anyway, we meet up and we start slugging it out, right? I'm tagging him, he tagging me. This motherfucker fractured my nose, sa.neter. Won the motherfucking fight, right? So now, I'm walking around penitentiary with a cast on my motherfucking nose, right? Motherfuckers like, yo, lie. I know you gonna kill that motherfucker, right? Kill him for what? I know you gonna let that motherfucker get away with breaking your nose. What do we say? Man, fuck that shit, lie. They ain't like you. What did we say? What's not like me? I gave my motherfucking word. Know what I mean? My word is my bond. This is what you live by. When you say it, do it. If you do, then motherfuckers will have real respect for you. You understand? They be like, yo, don't fuck with that motherfucker. Because if he tell you he gonna get you, he gonna get you. He don't give a fuck. Know what I'm saying? So once you put your word on some shit, you gotta live by that now. My homies though.
They went
No. Smiley and Big T, right? They mad. I told you I used to fight Smiley every motherfucking day. They mad that I lost the fight, right? Look, don't worry about it. It's over. It's a nothing thing, right? So Nate, he nervous because Smiley and T is ice grilling him. He think they gonna get him. He crews up, calls Otis. Remember I tell you, dude, that came with 4 years, and with a 14, that's Otis Hilliard, right? Call Otis, right? Now Otis is a legitimate tough guy, but all these motherfuckers is friends of mine. You know what I'm saying? And everybody that's real know everybody else that's real. And everybody that's real know everybody that's fronting. Everybody that's shamming like they ass is tough, but they ain't tough. They front on certain motherfuckers and you let that shit slide because they don't come at you with that shit. All that shit is going on in there, right? So Otis come, he like, yo, Lie, what's up? I say, I don't know, I'm trying to find out right now. So Otis getting ready to square up with my homies. I'm like, yo, what the fuck? He like, what the fuck? So I'm looking at Nate, I said, yo, Nate, what the fuck? He said, yo, man, they keep staring at me. I said, what, you a bitch? I said, did we have a fight? He said, yeah. I said, what we said? He said, the fight squashed the beef. Win, lose, or draw. I said, so what the fuck is the problem? He said, I ain't got no problem. But your homies keep staring at me. I said, you a bitch? He said, nah. I said, so what the fuck you care? Know what I'm saying? And then we broke off and walked up, man, stop playing. Know what I mean? You give your word on something, you keep your word. Me and Nate is cool like this. Know what I'm saying? But we had to get there. Know what I mean? You You can't talk about my mother. I couldn't. The only reason I ain't hurt him is we was in still. It's just certain shit you gotta say. I ain't with that. Now that for me, that's me from a little boy. You know what I'm saying? I love my mom. Don't talk about my moms. I love your mother like I love my mother. So if I don't talk about your mother, don't talk about my mother. For as far as I'm concerned, all black mothers are the same. They all get the same respect. If your moms is fucked up, right? I'ma respect your moms because she your moms. Now, she could have flushed your ass. That's the only thing that I keep in mind. Motherfucker, she could have flushed you. She had to have you. Know what I'm saying? She deserved respect for that. And that's just where I'm coming from. So I don't play that dozen shit. You know how they do the dozens? I don't do none of that. I don't play none of that. I don't disrespect your family. When I disrespect your family, that's because I'm ready to hurt you. I'm ready to put feelings in you to make you want to hurt me to react so that I can get you. That's the only time you will hear me say anything about anybody's family. I talk about the person themselves. I call you all kind of foul names, think of the worst shit I can ever say to anybody, to you. And then when moms come into it, I say, look, I don't know your mother. As far as I'm concerned, she's probably a nice lady. Don't she send you packages and shit?
So what do you mean earlier you was talking about how it was a lot of black dudes that was cowards up there?
Sa.neter. Dudes go to prison and can't fight. Right? You don't suddenly develop the ability to fight. Right? Elmira had a boxing program. Okay? Everybody wasn't in the boxing program. Only the dudes who knew how to box was in the boxing program. Boxing program was small. You know what I mean? Now, at the time, I was training, right? I could box. I wasn't in a boxing program. I was a gangster. I ain't getting in no, what the fuck I look like playing with you and you punching me? That's not a game to me. You understand what I'm saying to you, sa.neter? Look, I never played a football game a day in my life, right? I grew up in St. Nick Projects. There was a football team in the projects. My friends used to play. I used to watch them hit each other and knock each other down in the dirt and shit. That's not fun to me. That's violence. You understand? So that's where I'm coming from. Look, that shit hurt. If you trying to hurt me, how the fuck am I laughing? That's not a game. So boxing to me is not a game. Boxing to me is what you do.
Testing 1, 2. Can y'all hear me out there? How come I can't hear myself? Yeah. Okay, I can hear myself now. Yo, you know I got something powerful coming up later on. I think this is gonna be the closer. This is gonna be fire right here. Let me put the flyer up so y'all can see it. It's at 7 o'clock. Oh, so a couple of more minutes. About 40 minutes. Y'all have y'all ass in the building. This one right here. The whole truth of Sodom and Gomorrah with Brother Khalid Omani. And he's going to go in. Sodom was not destroyed for homosexuality. Israelites worse sinners than Sodomites. That's not my title. That is the title that the brother gave me. And he's going to go in. Little Monty is going to go in. So this is going to be crazy. I can't wait to see what he got. He said he got some fire. He got smoke. So I got to see what this is about. Check. And one more thing, man. I'm gonna close out with this, y'all. Let me close out with this right here. And I mean this for everybody. Please take heed to this.
Don't come around me gossiping and talking me about. Don't come around me gossiping and talking me about somebody's business, because I don't give a fuck. I'm trying to get rich. I don't got time to waste my time focusing on somebody else's business and all the gossip and all the goofy shit. I'm out here trying to get money, change my life so I don't have to work no fucking job no more. Please don't come around me gossiping and talking bad about nobody. I don't want to hear that shit. I don't know why you woke up this morning and felt so bold that you could come to me and even feel like you could tell me some shit like this. I don't want to hear it. I never will want to hear it. Don't come tell me. Stay the fuck around me, honestly, because why you even want to talk about that shit? Why you are not out here trying to get rich? Why you out here worrying about somebody's business and you gossiping and doing all the goofy shit? Bro, fuck that shit. I'm trying to get some real fucking paper out here. Why the fuck do I care about somebody's business and all that goofy shit, bro? I'm focused. Don't come around me trying to tell me nobody's business and all the gossiping, bro. Fuck all of that shit. If it ain't about no money or me just being better or some shit that's going to raise my frequency, don't come tell me that shit, bro, because I don't care. Don't come gossiping to me. I don't want to hear that shit. That shit for the birds. I'm not one of them.
All right. Yeah, that's real shit, man. I don't want to hear that no more. I'm tired of it, man. I don't care about niggas' negative videos. I don't care. Y'all ain't got to send me none of that. I'm just trying to get paid, trying to get some money and pay these goddamn bills that I got. I don't care about none of that shit. Nothing, none of that. All right? So, for real, leave that shit for the birds and be ready at 7 o'clock. Anybody would like to come in? Anybody have a question? Anybody have a question? I'll give you 5 minutes. If anybody have a question, I'll give y'all 5 minutes. The link is in the chat. I'll give you 5 minutes. Then I'm out. It's like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? I'm really like tired of the YouTube shit sometime, man. That's why I fall back, then I come back. Because look at how they doing me. They done did it again. You know, I was trying to get up there. Now they only allow 100 and something people to come in the building. Shit is crazy, man. Okay, going once, going twice. Peace and blessings. I'll see you at 7 o'clock.